The Fantasy Footballer Studio is sponsored by Walmart. Welcome to the Fantasy Footballers Podcast with your hosts, Andy Holloway, Jason Moore, and Mike Wright.
Oh, welcome in. The Fantasy Footballers back with you Tuesday, September 16th. Mike, the Fantasy Hitman, Jason Moore, Andy Holloway. Week 2 in the books, and we are here with a waiver wire episode, news to talk about. We'll reflect on the Monday night games, and we will talk about the rookies. Because I think that's one of the big reactions from
the
2 weeks.
Dookies.
Oh, okay.
Panic in the streets.
Yeah, we've had 2 weeks of NFL football. We've had a bunch of rookie running backs with huge opportunities, or so we thought, or perhaps they will come. But Hampton, Genty, Henderson, Caleb Johnson, R.J. Harvey. It's not been a good 2 weeks. There are a lot of people with panic, like you said, and they want to know what to do with these players that they drafted to start. And last night, if we want to get into the two games, we had the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield.
Dog.
20-19 over the Texans, who are now 0-2 in that division.
I saw Baker suffer, I think, 3 season-ending injuries last night.
His knees are destroyed. His ankles gone.
And yet continues to play.
Dog.
He's so fun to watch. He is an incredible story.
The play where he is down, he is on his knees, writhing, kind of in pain, and then immediately gets up to talk crap. He's like, "Oh wait,"
because it fuels him.
He turned the switch off, the pain switch. Like, he flipped it off.
Someone's near me. I could talk some crap to his face. Check this out. I'm not even hurting anymore.
And then he ran.
Until he went on the bench, and his face was the man of who is in extreme pain.
There was no one to talk crap to on the bench, man.
But then he ran again.
Yes, yeah.
4th and 15, he was fine and popped back up. And so they get it done. Bucky Irving, 17 for 71, didn't score. Rashad White with the tricky touchdown at the end.
Because there's if I'm that defense and I see Rashad White, 0.0% chance that they're going to run the ball.
That's why it was so smart.
I know.
That's
it's
why it was
because
so smart.
Mike Evans, it's disrespectful.
5 for 56. Egbuka, 4 for 29, did save it with a touchdown.
An illegal touchdown.
And Bucky Irving, pay attention here, 6 for 50 through the air. Through 2 weeks, this is something you saw in preseason that has been validated so far with the snap counts as high as they are for Bucky Irving, getting involved in the passing game. I mean, he led the team in receptions. Just like,
wow.
That wasn't something I think we saw coming. And then Nico Collins, it was good and bad for Nico. He scored an amazing touchdown, 9 targets, awesome, but only 3 of them were caught. And the offense still looks like it's okay at best.
Yeah, that offensive line is going to be an issue.
I mean, it's not like we didn't know how important offensive lines are,
yeah,
but if you look around the league, you look at the Eagles and the Lions and these teams who focus on their offensive line, and then there are a handful of teams, the Bengals now without Joe Burrow because they couldn't protect him and he just kept getting massacred behind the line, or the Texans who have plenty of skill position talent, a good quarterback, and it's irrelevant. You can't – your offense is just inept when you have no offensive line.
In the other game, the Chargers beat the Raiders 20-9. It was a bad day for Geno Smith.
Geno was so disappointing.
For somebody that has been at near the top of the league in completion percentage in recent years, to go 24 for 43 and constantly be missing players that are wide open. Mike was sweating out a victory and needed Jacoby Myers not to do anything. Myers had 12 targets. He only caught 6 of them, and multiple touchdown opportunities were taken away by Geno Smith. Brock Bowers.
And really, really good defense.
Yeah, the Chargers' defense looks fully legit. I mean, they play angry.
Can it finally happen? After
it's
years,
always injuries.
Years and years and years, if you're like, hey, the sneaky insiders are like, it's the Chargers. This is the year they're going to be good, and then it never works. But
Harbaugh has changed the franchise. They're ready to make a serious run and be a Super Bowl contender.
Justin Herbert was great, and through 2 weeks, I mean, you guys got to realize this. He's basically sustaining 3 good fantasy options at wide receiver.
Sure.
Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen, both scored. Keenan, my saving grace start of the week, for goodness sakes.
Oh.
I needed Keenan in a big way.
We're on to week 3, bro.
Yeah, Ladd McConkey, 5 for 48. He is not going to be what he was last year, I think. I think that was why I was concerned about drafting him in general, was just that Keenan and having more options.
I am personally not concerned about Ladd.
I'm not really concerned. It's just where did you tier him in before the season, and where do you tier him in now? I mean, I think he was unanimously a wide receiver 1 before the season. Do you look at him as a wide receiver, a top 12 wide receiver now, Mike?
No, not top 12. The Keenan Allen, when they brought him in, that was like Ladd McConkey was on the board for my guy for the entire offseason, and the Keenan Allen was like that. I had to pivot away because that true ceiling was gone. But the way that they're throwing, and like teams will eventually start respecting the other options. Like they're like, oh, I guess we do have to guard Huge. Maybe that's something that we have to shut down, and then that reopens the field for Ladd.
Honestly, Huge is a big problem for defenses because he is not their best, most important thing you need to shut down. He's not. The way that Ladd and Keenan can command just normal drives and just moving chains, and they get open and you're focused on them. It was before that touchdown from Huge. I remember having the thought in my head. I was like, it feels impossible that Huge doesn't get a long bomb in this game, because eventually you're going to take a couple shots, and the defense cannot be focused on that when you've got Ladd. And so to me, I look at this offense and I just go, wow, they have a real with the laser beam that Herbert can throw, the routes and the space that these 2 possession receivers can make. And I know Trey Harris just getting involved, but even if you start working on Huge, you have 2 other rookies. Like, this is going to be an offense that's hard to stop.
So one of the big things, I think, leading us into the discussion about the rookies, because I named 5. Like, you spent high draft capital on Genty, on Hampton, on Henderson, on Harvey, really. And then the other ones in the mix. You draft them at a point in your drafts where you're wanting to start them. It hasn't really been viable to start them. And then in this game, Genty and Hampton both struggled. Through 2 weeks, the Chargers are number 1 in pass rate over expectation in the National Football League. They're not really running the same running schemes that Baltimore ran when Greg Roman was there. So far we're putting the ball in the hands of Justin Herbert, and it's working. They're 2-0. But just to give you perspective, if you want to think about how you go about the rookie situation, because right now it is a sell low on everybody. If you wanted to get rid of them,
buy low.
Or buy low if you're on the other side of it. Here's some numbers. Ryan Heath collected these just to give you data. Through 2 weeks as rookies, Bucky Irving was averaging 5 points a game. Rashee Rice had run 16 routes. Jahmyr Gibbs had a 37% snap share. Devon Achane had played 5 snaps. Justin Jefferson had 6 targets. Nick Chubb had 5 rush attempts. Christian McCaffrey was averaging 2.7 a carry. And you can go on and on. Like, it's not very normal and those are all stars, for these players to come out and give you dominant performances to start the year. And unfortunately, they're getting in their own way. Hampton had the fumble. Now,
it was after not getting a ton of work, though.
That was a tough fumble, too, because he got hit so fast, but it was on him. Genty couldn't pass block to save his life against this defense. We know Henderson had he had 3 penalties. Yeah. Caleb Johnson managed to
a win,
hurt his team without touching the football.
Henderson was, honestly, the way we talked about Henderson, I'm very, very excited. We knew it would take some time. The
people are not Genty, a big fan of that.
I know, but it's like that was the thing. The Genty and Hampton one, that's more confusing to me. Of you took Ashton Genty at number 6 overall, and then you're in a 2-minute drill and you're running out Dylan Laube to
Laube.
to catch passes. Like that is it's only 2 weeks, of course, but as of right now, that's egregious. Of either your scouting not being 100% confident in you're a rebuilding team and you took a running back at number 6. That is, I stand by of bad teams should never take a running back that high. But the fact that you're like, no, we need to run another player out there for Genty, that is horrific news.
Week 1, Genty played 86% of the snaps. It's what we expected. This week it was 56% of the snaps. And
he made mistakes in pass protection repeatedly, and that could have had a lot to do with it.
He looked better to me. And we saw some of the college Genty of you're like, oh, okay, this guy, he can be a very, very special player. But if this is going to be the mix, that's weird. And the Hampton, taking a first-round running back when you are going to do this with the passing game is very strange to me.
I would say that with those 3 main guys, the 3 highest drafted in fantasy football, personally, I would try to make cheap offers on them. You know, in different leagues, people are going to be freaking out. They're 0-2 because of these guys who are disappointing, who aren't on the field. If you can buy them cheap, I do not personally expect those 3 running backs to finish the season as bad fantasy assets.
I'm the least concerned about Genty for sure.
Yeah.
I think Genty is going to be just fine. I'm probably, Hampton is probably the second I'm least concerned about, but it is a concern to have Harris now 50-50 on the rush attempts in this game, and you need to give it some time. You let it breathe, but it doesn't mean you have to start those players either.
Right. Yeah, no.
So
even if you trade for them, if you find a good deal where you can flip, a decent elder running back who's doing okay and a wide receiver who's had a good first 2 weeks, and you can acquire one of these running backs, that doesn't mean you have to start them.
So that's the data on the rookies and our take on them 11% of the way through the season. Let's talk some news.
News and notes from around the league, presented by Progressive Insurance.
More quarterback injuries, more pain. Jaden Daniels with the knee sprain, truly day-to-day, and Dan Quinn said he, quote, can't tell what that means for Sunday right now. He had an MRI, so I think it's very fair to surmise that Jaden Daniels will probably have fewer rushing attempts in the next couple of weeks. He may not even play in this game, but if he does, I would expect him to be more limited mobility-wise.
Sure. With
the knee sprain. J.J. McCarthy, we just found out he has a high ankle sprain, and he's going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. Carson Wentz.
Well, by the way, McCarthy has an injured ankle.
Yeah, there's a bunch of...
Just seeing some weird stuff out there, and there is, the plays out there. There's video. It wasn't at the beginning of the game, but it was right before the end of the third quarter. Defender gets away with a hip drop and landed right on McCarthy's ankle.
Yep. And the Vikings have 2 international games in Dublin and London before the Week 6 bye. Carson Wentz will take over. Joe Burrow, we talked about it yesterday, but the turf toe injury looks like the Bengals will be without him probably the rest of the season. Brock Purdy, unlikely to play this week.
Did you see who the Bengals signed?
Like 50 guys?
Yeah,
no, Footy Award winner.
Footy Award winner. Brett ripping farts. Yeah. He's back, baby. Ripping farts.
Good locker room guy.
Yeah.
Anyways. Justin Fields is in concussion protocol, and Aaron Glenn said it'll be hard to start him if he doesn't practice Wednesday or Thursday, which seems like definitely up in the air on Justin Fields.
This is a really tough week for quarterback streaming.
It is.
And it's combined with at the same time, you have a ton of managers in every single league that are going to the wire. Like, they need a quarterback this week with all these injuries. So it's rough in the streets.
Probably not going to have Aaron Jones this week for the Vikings as well. So no Aaron Jones, no J.J. McCarthy. Juwan Jennings, who came out in week 2 action with an ankle injury and then I think came back in, but we'll see.
Yep.
They're going to pay attention to Juwan Jennings this week, along with like 4 more 49er injuries. Liam Cohen said Brian Thomas entered. This is such a weird.
Mm-hmm.
This story is super weird because
Duval.
What, Liam? There's rules.
So
what are you doing?
And he was trying to backtrack.
Yeah,
it.
he's
It was
just working through some stuff.
So, anyways, the story is Brian Thomas apparently entered the game with a wrist injury. I don't know if that affects your dog level.
What?
But Brian Thomas Jr., you're supposed to be on an injury report.
Yeah.
And then they interview him, and they're like, yeah, so if he's came in with a wrist injury, why isn't he on the report? And then Liam Cohen, looked like a deer in the headlights, like, well,
Whoops.
well, yeah, it's just something he's kind of been dealing with. La, 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 la.
Duval.
Liam, get it together, man.
And then Chris Rodriguez will be back in the fold in week 3 now that the Austin Eckler season is over for the Commanders. That was News and Notes, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions. We're going to jump into the waiver wire.
The Waiver Wire, presented by Walmart.
It's probably a good time to remind you that the Ultimate Dashboard exists for a reason, and it's an opportunity for you to get in there and take advantage of the lineup optimizer and the waiver wire tool.
Yeah, I got to a point where I felt like I was in too many leagues and Tuesdays were awful. And then the Ultimate Dashboard made waiver wire so easy. You can look. We're going to talk through players today who are
Some higher level guys.
some higher level guys, some lower level guys. We won't get through everybody, but we do have the tool that syncs with your league. You can see who is available in each one of your leagues very, very easily. And it just makes it so smooth.
So you can check that out, jointhefoot.com, get access to the community, support the show, hang out with really good people, and take advantage of those premium tools. Also, the waiver wire rankings are on the site, thefantasyfootballers.com. We'll start at the running back position. What was that, Jason?
What? Just heard a little.
Are you going straight from ripping farts into Bayshal Tootin?
Look, I didn't name them.
Yeah, this is really you're living in your
in a dream world. This is a dream.
Everything's a fart joke.
Bayshal Tootin is near the tippy top of the list, but I was
Yes.
surprised to see Ramondre Stevenson was only rostered in 60% of leagues.
That blew my mind when I saw that number.
That feels like it is a result of emotion. Like we just don't like him.
Yeah, well, and we're so excited about Henderson. And the report before this week came out that Henderson was going to potentially last week see a lot more snaps. And honestly, I believe
Is that the report from liars.com?
No, I think it was true.
I think it was,
I think it was true because you watch Vrabel talk about how Henderson was doing what Ramondre did in practice this week. But what happened in the beginning of the game was Henderson, he got the bench. I mean, he came out in 3 holding penalties, and it's like, well, you can't play football for me anymore.
Assignments. I mean, Ramondre was terrible in week 1. So just against the Las Vegas Raiders, he had 10 opportunities. He was 7 for 15 on the ground, and he caught 2 passes for 12 yards.
Makes you wonder if the Raiders' run defense might be, after what we saw last night.
Yeah, possible.
Maybe they're pretty good.
Possible. But I'm saying, for your surprise, Andy, for Ramondre, he had the exact same amount of snaps, and he was garbage in week 1.
Yeah, but no starting running back should not be rostered.
Exactly.
It's insane. I mean, it's like Ramondre Stevenson is getting starter snaps and carries, and it's like you have to put that on your roster. We're sitting here. I mean,
Bayshal Tootin is not available in the leagues I'm playing in. Caleb Johnson is not available in the leagues I'm playing in, and they weren't playing. Like, Ramondre is the starting running back for the Patriots. He has to be rostered everywhere.
So Bayshal Tootin, he looked the part to me.
Yes.
8 for 42 on the ground, had the reception for the touchdown. Bayshal Tootin is available in more leagues. He is the running back for Jacksonville. They got rid of Tank Bigsby. Seems like they were very smart to do so because Tootin doesn't seem he seems like he's got juice. And
he does for sure.
So those are the two guys for me.
Travis Etienne looked really good in week 1, looked really good in week 2. So maybe he's back to what he was 2 years ago. But when you are targeting some of these backups, last year you brought this up, Mike, the reason that you really liked Bucky Irving was because you did not believe in Rachaad White. Rachaad White was a fine football player, but he wasn't really that explosive, efficient player. And I would not be surprised if, as the season goes along, all of a sudden Travis Etienne kind of reveal yourself.
Yeah,
he's not quite as great as he's been these first 2 weeks.
If you need short-term help, Ramondre Stevenson plays Pittsburgh next week, who through 2 weeks looks just awful against running backs, followed up by Carolina. So I think my short-term I just need I need a Band-Aid right now. I don't mind going after Ramondre. He's probably going to be cheaper compared to Tootin, and Tootin is a longer-term view of you can't start him yet, but I agree with Jason of by the halfway point of the season, it's possible that both Etienne and Tootin are very startable.
Yeah, I think Tootin can be started workload-wise, but matchups are tough coming up with Houston and Kansas City, 2 of the next 3.
What's really difficult is that I don't have a lot of lower roster names at running back that I'm excited about, making it all the more emphatic why Ramondre needs to be rostered. Because Trey Benson is, he's getting work in Arizona. It's not a ton, but he looks good. He'd be another name.
6 targets is pretty great.
The only other couple names that I even think on my list, and you guys can name others that you might have interest in, you want to see what Chris Rodriguez's involvement is in Washington in week 3. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe he's not rostered.
To me, he's a big name. Chris Rodriguez, obviously
it's just hard to go from healthy scratch.
Absolutely, but what helps that is
how dare you? How dare you?
And they have, it could be McNichols more involved than Rodriguez, and they have, that's a not rostered name.
Yeah, those 2 guys, Chris Rodriguez Jr. and Jeremy McNichols, I don't believe that they're going to give 100% of workload to Bill, in which case one of those guys will be relevant and they're widely available.
So, Mike, do you have anybody else you want to surface?
Yes, I did. A name. Look, it's the waiver wire. It's gross, but Tyler Algier is getting work. I know he looked particularly good this past week, and then was kind of salting the game away against Minnesota. But week 1 he had just as many carries as Bijan Robinson. Week 2 he had 16 carries. So he's not someone that, it'll be really, really high variance. But they do seem to trust him when they get inside the goal line, much to the chagrin of all of us who have Bijan. You're like, oh, hey, look who's out there again. It's Tyler Algier. So it's a desperation play, but he at least gets volume and gets some carries near the goal line.
Also, when we're looking at the insurance options, Blake Corum and Miles Sanders are guys who are widely available that should 100% be rostered.
You cannot make me roster Miles Sanders.
I actually think he's one of the better insurance back options because should something happen to Javonte, I think it would be just him.
Okay.
Yeah, with the healthy scratch of Jaden Blue.
Mm-hmm.
We also, the big drop candidates, somehow they're rookies. I would let Caleb Johnson go personally.
I would too.
But Harvey, Henderson, Hampton, they need to be rostered. Pacheco, I wouldn't cut because it's the same principle as Ramondre. A starting running back should not be cut. But I don't think you play him right now. It's just, look, players get hurt every week.
Yeah, and people are asking about Aaron Jones. That's another you don't get rid of Aaron Jones even though he's going to miss this week.
Yeah, for sure. And he had a great week 1. So, all right, we'll take a break. We'll talk about some wide receiver options. Foot Clan, the season, look, it's underway, Al. The season is underway. You got those rankings, those sleepers. You got the can't-miss picks. We've got it all laid out on the line. I don't know if you're ready for that, but the best fantasy team out there, we still need a backup because sometimes the starters, they don't show up. We know this. Wouldn't it be great if you could have the same peace of mind everywhere else? With Progressive, you get more than just a policy. You get a playbook full of coverage options that you can count on for your home and for your auto. Want to customize that protection? Not a problem. You can build your coverage just like you build your fantasy team, making sure that you have the right players in every position and back up when you need it the most. And when life throws an audible like a fumble in the driveway or a hailstorm at home, well, Progressive is there with 24/7 support. Don't get caught without a great backup. Visit Progressive.com to quote today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
This episode is brought to you by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. This season, make sure to subscribe to NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, where you will get every game, every Sunday, all in one place. NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV gives you everything you need to win Sunday. Watch up to 4 games at once with multi-view, or follow your fantasy team and watch the game on one screen. You can even catch up to live with key plays. Now, get NFL Sunday Ticket month to month and cancel at any time. Go to youtube.com/fantasyfootballers to sign up today. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games. Base plan required. Renews every month during the 2025 regular season only. Your membership for the following month can be canceled anytime before your renewal date. Terms, restrictions, and embargoes apply. Commercial use excluded. No refunds.
All right, let's talk about some wide receiver pickups. We talked about the big game from, one of the few rookies playing well right now, Alec Iomanner, who was 4 for 56 and a touchdown, still only rostered in 28% of leagues. I still believe he's a good pickup. Who's at the tippy top of your list this week, though? We have opportunities calling for Romeo Doubs with Jaden Reed being out.
At the tippy top, I don't know that there's a clear number one. The two guys that I would want the most are Romeo Doubs and Troy Franklin, who Franklin has hit the button, Jason. Like 6 targets in week 1, it's 4 for 44. That's, whatever. But then you get the 8 for 89, including a big play off, and that's off of 9 targets. Like
83% of snaps, which is not what we've seen. That's his career high so far. And Sean Payton tricks us all the time. So next week could come out and it could be, Marvin Mims is playing 80% of the snaps. That's in the range of outcomes, so I'm not going like super hard after Troy Franklin, but him and Romeo Doubs are my top.
No, go ahead.
Those are my top 2 guys at the wide receiver position.
I think maybe it should be Wandale.
Wandale is in the discussion with all these guys. He's playing a full allotment of snaps and getting a ton of targets.
You know what his target pace is? Take a guess. You're a good guesser.
I'm going to guess 140.
153.
Okay.
Terrible guess. No, Wandale, I mean, he's unrostered in most leagues. He got shamefully, and I apologize, his name did not come up somehow in the studs on Monday, and that is not okay for a player that was 8 for 142 and a touchdown. He was one of the best studs of the entire week, and you still have Russell, and Russell will throw it.
The really cool thing was they threw it to him this last game at least on the other side of the line of scrimmage.
3 20-plus yard receptions, which that matches his career total.
Well, yeah, because usually he just is a jitterbug behind the line of scrimmage and they give him the ball and he doesn't break a tackle and he gets a bunch of targets and receptions for no yards. Let the guy run down the field and then throw him the ball. It was great to see.
Do you realize, we did not intentionally watch the Giants last year, and it was really just for our own health. Do you know what his numbers were last year?
Yeah, it was.
Do you realize how many catches and targets he had?
The amount of receptions with the amount of yards was Kyle could probably pull up the stat.
93 catches.
It was historically low.
140 targets, but 7.5 a catch.
Under 700 yards.
It's insane though to have, like, anytime you have those kind of targets, like, you have the opportunity of having a big game, and to me he's probably my number one pickup. Because of the passing volume I saw from Russell Wilson, you can talk about
Chargers is next.
I like Iomanner,
sure,
but it's like Cam Ward's going to have they're going to manage his pass attempts quite a bit.
I like Iomanner a lot as a talent. I really don't like him as a pickup personally. I don't trust Cam Ward over the next 6-7 weeks. From like in Dynasty, I think it's a wonderful asset, but he scares me more than a lot of these other guys. I'd much rather have Wandale Robinson. Cedric Tillman is another name who's available in half of your leagues. I know he caught the most ridiculous touchdown that was not to him. It was to a defender. He got lucky, but he's still on the field and getting a lot of targets.
Yeah, the other names, Mooney, not heavily involved. I don't really like the passing game in Atlanta right now, so I thought I'd be like all over Mooney as a top pickup this week. I don't feel that way at all.
I think
with Drake London and with Kyle Pitts and with how little they're letting. I mean, Michael Penix was under 150 yards passing.
Yeah, this past week, but week 1 they were chucking it. So I don't know that we have a true definitive look at what they're going to look like.
Yeah, the Falcons really feel like we're still gathering data on them.
All right, Darnell Mooney, though, is heavily rostered. Would you drop him for Wandale? Would you drop him for Franklin? Would you drop him for Tillman? Would you drop him for Doubs? Iomanner. That's kind of like,
I don't think I would.
If you're making a transition for upside play, like I for some reason I don't see Mooney as that kind of upside.
I don't think I would make that play. I see him in the same tier as those guys, and then you got to spend Faab to go sideways to me.
And then with Romeo Doubs, because of the Jaden Reed collarbone injury where he will be out for a very long time, Dontavian Wicks, hands team superstar, he had 6 targets. He was 4 for 44. If you remember how the flow of the game went this past week, Wicks got targets early, and then his rate in the slot went up because of the Jaden Reed injury. So while Doubs is at the top because he's the most secure number 1 wide receiver that the Green Bay Packers have, he's always out there. But Wicks is an upside play who is very available, and he's going to be stepping into a more full-time role.
Is it possible that DeAndre Hopkins can get only 2 targets and a touchdown every single week this year? Just
if you want to chase it, feel free.
Yeah, he's
week 1, 2 targets, 2 receptions, 1 touchdown.
He's
Week
still
2, 2 targets, 2 receptions,
he's still good
1
at the
touchdown.
competitive catch universe.
Sure,
Like, that's his.
But for that logic, why would you not go get Devontae Walker, who I believe was
That's true.
was 2 for 2?
That's right.
Like
Yeah.
Walker
I
had.
think he has
I think
3 targets on the season and 3 touchdowns.
No, I think
No?
Is it just the 2? No, it's just 2 targets this past week.
are
but
you
they were
guys-
both touchdowns.
Are you chasing Tyquan Thornton?
No.
No. Well, let me ask you, Andy.
Yeah.
Is he getting a
Yeah,
touchdown
Mr.
this week?
Oracle. I need to know.
Nah, probably not.
Okay.
All right, no.
We'll wait and pick a different player this week, or maybe just live on that for a few weeks. Stephon Diggs, would you drop Diggs? The hard part about them
don't
is like,
know.
I would drop Diggs for most of the players we're
would you
talking
really?
about.
Okay.
I mean,
Io Manor, Wandale.
The
Wandale I
snaps,
would.
He went from 41% to 52%.
I think I'm holding on to Diggs.
I think so too.
I mean, Booty only had 1 catch and 1 target.
I have so in my league of record team, Stephon Diggs is like my most droppable player. You know, I mean, I had higher draft capital, so it's harder to find someone to drop. And I look at it, I don't know. I was talking to Kyle about it of like, is he just a guy that we're going to hold on to the whole year waiting for it to happen? Or is it like 2 weeks, the snaps going up? That's very encouraging because it was going to take time. It always takes guys time to come back from an ACL. The fact that he was ready week 1 was a bit surprising to me, but it was only 41% of the snaps. With the work going up, I think I'll hold him for 1 more week. If we can get up into the 60s next week, then you're going to be happy that you held on to him.
Some people asking about dropping Matthew Golden. I would not do that at all.
No.
I mean,
No way.
this is, again, he's another one of the rookies that hasn't made a big splash yet, but opportunity is knocking for Green Bay right now. The passing game, they're taking lots of shots.
They're
I love
taking
that.
shots to Golden, yeah.
Yeah, it's just you got to – Matthew Golden right now is looking like the Jamison Williams of the Packers. It's not going to be
It's low variance or
Yeah.
low hit rate, I should say.
high variance. Yeah.
Yes.
And there is a weekly targets per outrun report by AJ Passman on the website. You can check that out. We will turn the page here. We'll look at tight ends. Juwan Johnson still not rostered in 50% of leagues.
I tried to tell you people.
Yeah, unfortunately, I play with Mike in most of my leagues, so he is heavily rostered and
by Mike.
By Mike.
Yeah. He
The
honestly
targets are what are encouraging, and he could have caught 2 more of them and would have been 7 for, 65 and a touchdown, and we'd be talking even more about him.
He
But
has 20 targets right now through 2 weeks.
he's my number 1 pickup of the week.
of all players,
Yes.
I don't blame you. The tight end position, people are in need, and he looks like
Let me
a
see who
very high floor type
Exactly.
of.
with ceiling. I
Of
mean,
option.
week 1, he had a great stat line, and he barely missed a touchdown right at the end of the game. It's the utilization that we're chasing here with Juwan Johnson, because if he gets used like this, he will be a top 5 tight end at the end of the year.
I am very curious about because Spencer Rattler, I would say, has played better than expected.
Yes, he has.
But I am curious when they go on the road the next couple of weeks, how that adjustment
That's fair.
takes place. They did get to play at home for the first 2 weeks. They go to Seattle, go to Buffalo. I'm a little, it doesn't change anything about whether he's a top pickup. He is my top tight end pickup. He's number 4 on my list. I'd pick up Ramondre, Tootin, and Wandale ahead of him. But if you need a tight end, obviously he's the highest priority.
If he is gone, the name that I want to throw out there is Jatavian Sanders. Jatavian Sanders is a second-year, very athletic tight end who last year, if you don't remember how the season went, in his rookie season, he started to break out with Bryce Young. When Bryce Young came back, he had a stretch before he got it was a neck injury about
week 13.
Week 13, he got his neck injured. But right up until that point, he was breaking out. He was looking good, especially for a rookie. Gets injured, doesn't do much the rest of the time. And now, look, Xavier Legette.
I was going to ask, is this for Jatavian Sanders?
I don't actually buy this past week for Sanders at all.
So it's a question because
you know what his pass attempts were for Bryce Young? This was a garbage second half. So he still only played 60.
Get a lot of those.
He still only played 60% of the snaps. I'm not saying that you can't bring the name up, of course.
I think,
but I don't believe in this last week.
The potential for a year two breakout that they need. You know, coming into this season, it seemed like they've got a lot of weapons. They've got Adam Thielen. They've got second year Xavier Legette. They've got Tetaroa McMillan. Now it's like
fair.
Now it's like they've got Tet.
There's a space.
He's that dude.
And Hunter Renfrow.
And right, it's like Renfrow, and they need someone else to step up. And Jatavian is a very athletic, great.
No, it's a good. Whenever there's a young tight end that you can bring up that has opportunity to break out, it's a lot more exciting than the guy that I'd pick up ahead of him,
Zach Ertz,
which is Zach Ertz.
Yeah,
because I think Zach Ertz, even if mobility for Jaden Daniels goes down, I think this is going to be the safety blanket for this team for weeks.
But I think the worry is if there's potential that Jaden Daniels doesn't play this week. Obviously, you're not going to play Ertz with a backup.
No, but I like Ertz. I like Ertz right behind Juwan Johnson myself. Brenton Strange is still in the mix. And, if you want to drop Mark Andrews, Mike, what do you say to that person?
You say, goodbye.
Evan Ingram?
Goodbye.
Colston Loveland?
Oh, goodbye.
Yeah.
On the defensive side, Atlanta and
what are these teams doing?
Excuse me?
No, hold on. What are these teams doing? That Colston Loveland, the number 10 overall pick, and then a few picks later is Tyler Warren, both elite tight end prospects. One guy, Tyler Warren, they were like right away. He was our first round pick. We should get him acclimated and see what he can do. And is it Loveland?
Mike,
I was about to read that tweet to you, but then you made the strong counterpoint of Tyler Warren's involvement.
Of all people on this planet, 2 weeks into 2025, dude, you got to look at that dog meter, okay? Because
and that's fair.
Warren's got it.
Yeah, he does.
My issue with Loveland coming in was like he never broke. He's a good athlete, but he's never broke a tackle in his life.
I'm gonna check the tape.
Yeah.
I will return.
You go look.
I'm going to tell you if he needs to go to the kitty kennel. He's being banished there right now by his coach.
I really, Colt Kmet's a really good player.
He is.
The Colts have, they've got one other tight end. Let's see if we still have a drop for him.
Oh, yeah.
They still have Gigantor, but Tyler Warren is heavily involved, and they're playing much better football. And so it's 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks.
Loveland was hurt during the off-season process. It's frustrating to see a guy drafted ahead to Ben Johnson of Tyler Warren, and they can't figure out how to get it going.
Well, it's very possible he's called a lot of plays for him, and then Caleb Williams has just not listened.
Very possible, too.
Defensively, Atlanta plays Carolina. Atlanta is their defensive front right now. They were putting so much pressure on the quarterback in that game this past Sunday night, and they play Carolina, and Bryce Young is going to make mistakes. He's been making them for 2 weeks. Arizona had a defensive score against him. They had an interception, and Atlanta probably won't be dumb enough to play, 55 attempt prevent defense from the second quarter on. Tampa plays the Jets and maybe a backup quarterback.
It's tough in the streams for the quarterback, but there are some really good
tough in the streams.
There are some good DST options.
Seattle plays New Orleans and Spencer Rattler, and they get to do it at home, and their defense is pretty good. So Seattle looks mighty nice.
Yep.
Arizona, who's been a pretty good defense, minus that second half of stupidity. They play San Francisco and Mac Jones, so I don't know how confident you feel there, but if you drafted Arizona and you've played him through 2 weeks, do you just keep riding, or do you?
You've been pretty happy, but I think you should always be looking every single week. Like for instance, if you drafted Arizona and you're happy with them, they put up good points last week, and the Falcons are sitting out there. I'd much rather pick up the Falcons and just get more points for my team this week.
I would play the Falcons against the Panthers, the Bucks against the Jets, the Seahawks, Saints. Colts are playing Cam Ward, and then the Chargers are. I'm not scared of Denver's offense as of right now, so I'd be happy to play the Chargers against them.
Yeah, the Chargers defense just looks outstanding in a divisional matchup. I'm fine with that. It is a very good week for streaming defenses.
All right, that was this week's Waiver Wire presented by Walmart. Who knew you could get what you need in as fast as an hour? Get free delivery on your first Express delivery order with code EXPRESS, valid for first Express delivery order. $50 minimum, subject to availability. Restrictions apply. We'll take a break, and we'll jump into quarterback streaming options as soon as I find this button.
Today's show is brought to you by our friends at Viore. Whether you're heading to the gym, running errands, or just lounging at home, Viore has you covered. Let's talk about the Sunday Performance Jogger. It's part of the Sunday collection. It's everyone's favorite jogger. It's a fresh take on athleisure, and it's a staple in your wardrobe. The fit is flattering, and thanks to the soft, lightweight, four-way performance stretch, it moves with you, no restriction. Viore offers a new perspective on performance apparel made to work out in, but also stylish and comfortable enough to wear all day. And the best part, shopping is easy. Finding what you need on the website takes no time. I know they want me to talk about the joggers, but you know what I want to talk about? The shorts. I love my Viore shorts. I have them on right now. I have, I think, 8 pairs of them. Look, they look great. They fit great. They're comfortable. They got the liner in the shorts, and it's the perfect liner. Look, I wear them to work out. I wear them to lounge. Hey, look, if my kids are in the pool and I got them on, I'm going to jump in the pool. Just like, this is good enough. These are fantastic. I really, truly love and endorse those Viore shorts. And Viore is an investment in your happiness. For our listeners, they're offering 20% off your first purchase. Get yourself some of the most comfortable and versatile clothing on the planet at Viore.com/footballers. That's VUORI.com/footballers. Exclusions apply. Visit the website for full terms and conditions.
This is an ad by BetterHelp. Who do you go to in order to solve your life's problems? The group chat, oversharing with strangers? Maybe you don't have that perfect someone great with advice. That's where BetterHelp comes in. They've been around for over a decade, helped millions, and out of 1.7 million client reviews, they've got a 4.9 rating. BetterHelp has qualified and experienced counselors that meet localized standards for counselor vetting and care delivery. They do the initial matching work for you so that you can focus on your goals. A short questionnaire helps you identify your needs and your preferences, and you can switch to a different counselor at any time. Completely online, you can pause your subscription whenever you need to. BetterHelp is HITRUST certified and complies with GDPR standards, which means they meet some of the highest global standards for data protection. As the largest online therapy provider in the world, BetterHelp can provide access to mental health professionals with a diverse variety of experience. Find the one with BetterHelp. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at BetterHelp.com/footballers. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/footballers.
All right, Mike said it. It's tough in the stream, so we're going to try anyways.
Full stream ahead.
Jason's got the top guy, so we'll let him start.
I got 2 guys. Because it's tough, I'm going to throw a second one in there. But the main guy you're talking about is Daniel Jones.
That we do not have listed?
Correct.
Okay.
The main guy is Daniel Jones. I mean, it's a trap. It's what it feels like.
We have not, I will say this, we have recommended Daniel Jones in the streaming segment multiple times in the past.
Yes, he has the wheels to always have a good fantasy day. Going on the road against Tennessee, it's a good matchup. The Colts are still the only team that haven't punted the ball through 2 games, and he's looking great. He's playing like he was drafted to be great at number 6 overall. Only Lamar is averaging a higher fantasy points per drop back. Right now, they're 3.5-point road favorites. He's the guy.
Per jockstrap.
Per jockstrap. The other name I just want to throw out there because Sam Darnold.
Sam
Darnold played pretty well. He is on your waivers.
Yeah.
Especially after a bad
at
week,
home.
week 1 at home against the Saints. It's like
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, 7.5 point favorites.
Yeah, 7.5 point favorites. It's going to be a fine play.
I don't mind that one at all.
It's funny because Sam Darnold's my stream of the week, actually.
Oh.
No, I'm just
Oh,
kidding.
I was like, I did not see that.
No, mine is a bit of a no, mine's not nasty, Mike.
Oh, you're going with this one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because people drafted their starters.
Yeah.
Jason brought up Justin Herbert last week in the streaming section. He is more rostered than he used to be, but he's sitting on people's benches, and you're having to make decisions between Kyler Murray and Justin Herbert. You're having to make decisions between Drake May and Justin Herbert.
I'm not.
This conversation, you're not making those decisions?
I'm not making any decision when Justin Herbert's there. It's an auto decision. Dude, he is awesome. He is so good.
He's always been awesome and so good.
Yeah, but he's got weapons.
That's his whole career. He's been awesome and so good.
He's got weapons, man. I love him.
They're number one in pass rate over expectation through 2 weeks. This is he's your starter conversation, and I think that matters because if you picked him up, you're still making a streaming decision, even if he's rostered. You still have to decide over Kyler. You still have to decide over those other players, Daniel Jones, those other guys that you have on your roster. So to me, I want to endorse Justin Herbert as, hey, the way the offense is running, this is not a fluky multi-touchdown performance. This is a pattern and a way the offense is functioning. So the bonus nasty would be Mac Jones.
Yeah, there we go.
Mac Jones had a really good week, and I'm going to tell you, he didn't look like he knew what the game of football, the rules or how to play through the first quarter. Like he looked confused and scared. Like if you put a small child in the pocket at quarterback, he looked that way. He looked skittish and weird. And then all of a sudden you look up and Mac Jones is delivering the ball to the corner of the end zone to Christian McCaffrey or across the middle to Juwan Jennings. So unfortunately, he's just
and I'll throw in Arizona's secondary got depleted.
Not just their secondary. Their defensive line got injured too. They lost, I was going to say, part of the end of the game.
4 guys.
Yes, part of the end of the game against the Carolina Panthers was they played vanilla, like almost prevent defense, and it was awful. But part of it was they lost like 4 starting defensive players during that game.
39 pass attempts for Mac Jones, 279 yards and 3 touchdowns and no picks. And so he did fumble twice. That explains the dancing in the pocket.
Yeah.
But he is an option.
All right, let's keep it going. Carson Wentz.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Carson.
We are so
freaking
back.
Wentz.
I'm not going to do it.
Hey, look, that
offensive line.
This is for which, there was a report that their left tackle is probably not going to be back. This is just look. This is I told you, it's really
underpants
difficult
situation.
Oh, I don't have my buttons.
Oh man,
where's my buttons?
You don't have
Somebody
your underpants.
Find the
this
underpants.
is the highest level. Give me the unobtainiums,
we
please.
need Mike to have his underpants
Seriously.
at all times.
Seriously, that would be really important for us.
That's
sitting near him.
That's a failure on my part. I will.
Can you find it?
I will get that fixed.
All right, I'll be talking.
Get it fixed or hit the button.
Hey, Jeremy, hit it. Hit it. Jeremy.
I don't have it in my board either, but I'll get it.
I'll get it.
my
hit it.
Just keep talking.
All the underpants are missing?
Oh man.
Well, he's heard what I said about
which
the
ones
pants
did you
store.
want?
Jeremy,
the highest level.
Put them on.
Unobtainium.
Unobtainium underpants.
Thank you.
Forgot about the graphic. I'm not sure I wanted that as much as I thought I did.
Because look, the whole section is about streaming. I'm trying to find someone who you could play off your waiver wire because things went bad for you or you're in a deep league. Carson Wentz, Kevin O'Connell. The first 2 starts for J.J. McCarthy have not been good. Historically, everyone else that Kevin O'Connell has put out there has produced. And the great news, we are playing against the Cincinnati Bengals defense. So they have allowed the 5th most passing yards per game. And Carson Wentz, he can run a little bit, so we got a little bit of that cheat code built in. Again, this is the nastiest of the nasty play, but the peripherals make sense to me that Carson Wentz can come in here and give you 250 and 2 and maybe 30 on the ground.
Okay, the underpants, they're on. Would you just drop Burrow, McCarthy, Purdy? I mean, none of them really feel like must hold.
Yeah,
Context, of course.
Purdy and McCarthy were already streamers. Those were guys where if you need to drop them to pick someone up, you can. They're injured, so I'm fine dropping them. Joe Burrow, you basically have to drop him, but Yeah, it is so sad.
It is very sad. I'd probably put him into my IR until I'm forced.
Right.
That I got other players that are like, I have to hold these players. I'll see you later, Joe Burrow.
I traded Burrow
we're at
last
like
week, and
0%.
I genuinely feel bad.
You were the fantasy reaper in mass because it wasn't just Burrow. It was the Burrow Chase stack, and you got paid. And while Chase is not going to disappear,
I feel bad.
he's not going to disappear.
You
He's
don't feel
certainly
bad.
not going to be.
I mean, I feel good as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
you,
yeah.
But I feel a little bad.
You're putting on a show. This is a facade. We see right through you.
I don't believe
I feel
it for
bad.
a moment.
I feel bad and lucky.
I would
That's
feel
usually when people
first time
feel
I've
lucky,
been
they
lucky
feel
before.
real bad.
you know with
First time I've ever been lucky.
in the Bulls documentary,
In the Thornton one.
the Bulls documentary where the old guy is playing the throw the coin
Oh,
against
yeah.
when he's playing against Jordan.
Yeah.
That's how you feel bad like that. Sorry. Your problem, not mine.
But it's the other person was
I
laboring.
win.
They were laboring for so long on whether they'd accept that trade, and they wanted to pull the trigger. They're like, "Oh gosh, Burrow Chase."
Hey,
Things happen.
you go risky maneuvers. I mean, you play to win. I love that. But,
Yep. Yeah. That's.
But
that's
I don't
true.
feel bad for his team.
All right, let's take a couple minutes here and let's jump into the mailbag, which I have a button for that too. I know I do.
Buttons are everywhere.
Mailbag.
Maybe everything's in storage. All the underpants,
Well,
are they in
what
like
I was
a
gonna say is-
digital bureau?
He
so
heard
many
me.
mothballs.
He
Yeah.
heard me talking about just how the pants store is out of business. But
yeah.
Jeremy, the underpants store is
Yeah.
very much in business.
It's even more important
Yes.
when the pants store
Yeah,
is out of
yeah.
We
business.
aren't Winnie the Pooh in this.
No, this-
No
we're
Donald
street
Duck
legal.
over here.
My apologies to you and the Foot Clan.
We're
It
just
will be
we're,
rectified.
we're free.
Yeah.
We're free from the shackles of the
Unencumbered
pants.
from the pants.
Yes, but we are still hiding our
street
shame.
legal.
Street
thank
legal, as Mike said.
Thank you.
All right. If you have a question for the show, go to the website, thefantasyfootballers.com. You can also dial our voicemail hotline, 302-464-TFFB. We're going to answer a few questions here. Caleb in Wisconsin said, Matthew Golden was dropped in my league. How much fab would you spend to pick him up? I have the receiver depth for him to sit on my bench until he breaks out. Let's say a number out of 100 fab
Okay.
at the same time and see if we're in agreement.
All right.
3, 2, 1, 10.
21.
Oh, you both went 20, 21. I went 10.
Yeah, I think in that range, 10 to 21.
Oh, okay. A 5 to 10 defense, but if we could go big fab gaps.
No, this is a rookie who had such high draft capital on a good offense with injuries and opportunity around him. You've got to take the shot on those type of players. It might not work, but there's too many flags that you aim for, too many check boxes for you to just ignore it.
Hags in Petaluma, California.
Oh.
That
never heard-
sounds darn near like a bonjour. There's no way that's in California.
I've never heard of that. Is now the right time to trade away Javonte Williams? If so, what would you try to get for him? It did pop into my head when we were talking about the rookies. The idea of crafting, and you need more than the two pieces because you wouldn't want to draw so much attention to it. But that's how I think about the trade, right?
Yeah.
But you talked about Genty.
Oh, look, Javonte's in there.
And then but Javonte's like the number 2 running back on the season.
Yeah.
And Genty is your big frustration player. If you could work a few other pieces in there, some picks and a couple players,
I wonder.
I bet you could do it.
There are certainly leagues where you could trade, not every league, but you could trade Javonte for Hampton.
What are the
straight
odds,
up.
though, that Javonte, because of the success so far, the lack of depth behind him, the fact he's been so good, what's the chances he ends a top 10 running back and we're sitting here going, well, that was dumb.
I think there is certainly a greater than 0% chance that he ends the whole year as very, very successful. I would caution one thing, which is over the next 6 weeks, their center
Correct.
is injured, and that is a big deal for a guy who Javonte has looked pretty good. He's looked strong, but he gets what's given to him.
Mhm.
He's not really like a create it on his own type of guy. So if that, this seems like the sell high moment, but also hear what I am saying.
Oh.
Okay. Hold on.
Sell high. don't just be like, I can get something for Javonte. You have something for Javonte. Javonte
you have
has
Javonte.
value. So if you're going to sell him high.
Hear what I am saying. Can we bring that into the fold? Would you trade Chase Brown for Kenneth Walker? Naps in Utah. Naps has a question for us. Chase
No.
Brown for Ken Bone Walker.
No, it's
I was wondering where you would be on a buy of Ken Bone Walker right now.
I
Because
think
there's going to be the sell high people.
sure. I think I'm Ken Walker. My value on him is basically like his ADP, where he was drafted. So I think he is net neutral. Chase Brown did take a hit in value because of Burrow, but he still was getting all the work, and I think Chase Brown will be okay. He has juice and he's getting everything.
Yeah, the Bengals aren't the Bengals are not going to go to zero here. They have a lot of skill position players, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown. They're going to make Jake Browning.
Also, you will disagree. They're well coached. Very well coached.
Right.
The Bengals?
Yes.
No, right. I do disagree.
The Bengals are very well coached. Jake Browning's success in the past shows me that too.
Yeah, and Jake Browning is a decent backup option. So Chase Brown's not, going to become some irrelevant back. I did try to make a couple trade offers. You'd be happy for Ken Bone after week 1, but I didn't get him to go through.
They must have been real bad.
Yeah, well, I was hoping that Ken Bone's not playing football and being bad at it week 1 was more impactful.
All right, James G. This question probably going to get answered by Jason as well. I'm seriously considering trading A.J. Brown for Emeka Egbuka. Redraft league. Is this a dumb trade on my part? Please advise, and I want to know the answer.
I will start it by saying I got a tweet this morning of someone saying, so I was just offered Justin Jefferson for Emeka Egbuka, and is it weird that I'm hesitating? And I'm like,
it's probably not
no,
that weird with the quarterback situation.
It's
in Minnesota.
not weird that you're hesitating. I would still immediately go do it. Big because Egbuka's got 3 touchdowns. I mean, he was not very involved.
No,
and like I said, an illegal touchdown.
Someone was sweating out.
I was.
Egbuka.
And
what happened on it? I didn't see it.
The offensive lineman goes out to block.
Oh, I saw
and
him.
Whiffs the block, but clearly throws the leg to trip.
Oh,
And so much that when they came back from commercial, they go to the rules expert and they're like, "Yeah, that was a trip. That should have been called."
Man,
yeah,
but I would.
Okay,
so to Jason, would you trade AJ Brown?
I love Emeka Egbuka. He's my guy. He's playing 93% of snaps. He's still only about 20% of the target share, which is I would hope he was more like 25% target share. 29 yards last week. I love him. I think he's good. I like the passing attack, but he is not AJ Brown. I would still rather have the AJ Brown side. So if you could trade Egbuka for AJ Brown.
what did you just say, Al?
I bet you could.
I said if I had Egbuka, I don't think I could trade him right now for A.J. Brown.
That's the hard part
I
about
have
trades,
AJ Brown.
man. Especially if you're just doing a 1-for-1 positional trade, that there will be a winner and a loser of the trade.
Right.
And
So-
the emotional attachment to the success that he's had
Sure.
so far this season is just hard
Like,
to let
like
go.
I said, people are hesitating to trade to get Justin Jefferson.
Well, I mean, think
for him.
about this. There are, that question absolutely would have come up 2 weeks into Brian Thomas Jr. last year. Would you trade Brian Thomas Jr. for A.J. Brown last year? I mean, I think 100% of people would say that would have been a good decision. In last year's instance, it would not have been. It would have been better to have Brian Thomas Jr.
Right.
Probably better to have Malik Neighbors. There are – I think the biggest question for me with Egbuka is, if you're not liking the target share now he's going to grow. He's going to become, more connected with Baker. But you will get Godwin back. But you will get Wirfs back as well. And I think that's going to help this offense a lot. Like there are people worried about Bucky. And I'm like, to me, that's crazy because of Rashad White having a good game and scoring and look, Tristan Wirfs is going to make a humongous difference in this offense. Huge. And it could be as soon as next week. So that's going to help them all together. If I'm certainly a believer in Baker as well with those weapons coming back. So if there's a chance to go get Baker, I would do it. All right, that is going to do it for today's show. We have Unsolved Mysteries tomorrow and a Thursday night preview. Starts of the week matchup previews coming up, and a reminder, jointhefoot.com for the community. Support the show. Get access to premium tools like the Waiver Wire tool inside of the Ultimate Dashboard. More upgrades happening each and every week, by the way, in the app and on the web, so take advantage of them. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Goodbye.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Fantasy Footballers Podcast. Join our fantasy football community on jointhefoot.com and follow us on Twitter @TheFFBallers.